Good morning and welcome back to Chasing Spoons episode 3. My name's Matt and I'm on a mission to visit every Wetherspoons there is. And guess what? It's raining again. 3 for 3 so far on the rain. What is it today? The 11th of June, and it's 10 degrees and pissing it down. Rubbish. Anyway, let's get moving and I'll explain a bit about where we're off. Right, so today we're back in Nottinghamshire. It's about a 10-mile journey for me today, not far really. And the interesting thing about this Spoons is it's not named after a famous person from the area or what the building used to be in a former life, like many of the Spoons are. It's actually named after a historical stone monument. So the stone monument in question marks the southern boundary of the town, and its name comes from an old Scottish and Northern English word meaning teacher or headmaster, as it's believed the original location of the stone was in a schoolyard, but the monument's actually been moved from its original location and it's now in the town square. So we'll have a look over there first and I'll explain a bit more about it once we're there. To the market town of Retford. So Retford has been welcoming travellers for centuries now. Before modern transport, it was a popular town on the Great North Road, a road which joined London and Edinburgh together. For that reason, the town has a rich history of pubs and taverns which would supply the travellers with ale who were travelling up and down the country. It's also said that in 1916 Retford was bombed by a German Zeppelin and the blaze was so hot that nearby apples cooked on the branch. And as I mentioned earlier, the Wetherspoons here gets its name from a stone monument which marked the southern boundary of the town. And that was called the Dominie Cross. I don't care, I'm filming this next bit in the car. I am drenched. I've only been out there 10 minutes. So the Dominie Cross wasn't the name for the entire southern boundary. It was actually just the base of it, and that's the bit that's been preserved. It's been moved from behind me where it initially was on Dominie Cross Road, believe it or not. It's now been moved over to the market square, which I'm going to go ahead to in a minute. And also it's now been renamed the Broadstone. And the reason for actually having a boundary around Retford is unclear. There's a couple of theories. One is just an administrative boundary, so they had 4 different monuments to show where the boundary of the town was. But the more interesting theory, I think, is that it was actually due to the plague, the Black Death, in the mid-1300s. And it was said that everybody inside of the boundary was not allowed to leave the boundary and vice versa. And in order for people to pay for produce that was produced in the town, obviously you couldn't come into contact with people. So supposedly what happened was people would leave their money inside the monument, which was filled with vinegar. Supposedly that must have helped sanitize the coins so you didn't spread the disease. Whether it worked or not, I don't know. Let's get back out in the rain Quick walk over to the market square, let's see the Broadstone, and then we'll head, it's about 2-minute walk down to Wetherspoons. We'll pick it up from there. Broadstone. So I guess at one point must have had hollowed out top and a vinegar to go in. And if you were all gammy with the plague and you tried walking past that, you'd be going straight to plague prison. Right, now let's go get to Spoons. So the actual building that the Wetherspoons is situated in, as far as I can tell, doesn't actually hold any historical significance. All I can see was before it became Spoons, it was I think it was a garage, and then it was a Netto. Who remembers them? Right, so as I get in here, it's quite a long and narrow building, nice long bar in it as well. There was a room behind me which you couldn't see on the picture, and to be fair, the bar was kitted out quite nicely. The beer selection was pretty uninspiring, to be fair, but they did have a Jaipur on from Thornbridge. That was definitely the pick of the bunch, so got a pint of that and I went and sat down. So, Jaipur by Thornbridge, decent beer. I think I'll give it a 4.5 on Untapped. Good brewery from Bakewell in Derbyshire. For me though, the Jamestown that they do is that is the best one. On the wall I found a picture of the Mayflower, the famous ship that sailed to the New World. In 1620, the Mayflower set sail from England to the New World. The passengers who were on that famous journey settled in America and formed one of its first colonies. The Mayflower Pilgrims helped lay the foundations of the United States, and today 25 million Americans descend from the 102 passengers of the Mayflower, many of which were from Nottinghamshire. There was this art piece on the wall called Valhalla. The bar was done up with all flags for the World Cup, and there was a portrait above the bar of a woman, but I didn't quite catch who that was. There was this weird looking sculpture called Connection, and also an old picture of Grove Street, which is the street which the Wetherspoons currently sits on. There was also a bit of information about Grove Street, on how it used to host a local horse fair. Here's a shot of the carpet, just look at them swirls. And this is me finishing my pint, signifying that it's time to leave. Number 3 done. Let's get back to the car. Number 3 and the Dominie Cross ticked off. So I've been having a big think about how I'm actually going to complete this, quite frankly, ridiculous task. I think currently on the Wetherspoons app there's 810 open at the minute, which is actually a few less than what I remember it being. I'm sure it used to be in the 900s, but 810 is still ridiculous, especially when you factor in petrol money, beer money, time. It's going to be a ridiculous effort, but I don't want an easy challenge. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to hopefully aim to do 5 spoons a week. So what I'll probably do is I'll end up travelling out somewhere, do all the ones in that area, hopefully get maybe 5 done in a day, and then I can get home, edit them all through the week, and then I've got basically, if I do 5, I've got 5 weeks of uploads then. So it just means doing it that way I'm going to save a lot of petrol money and a lot of time, because there's no way I'm going all the way to Penzance to do 1 Wetherspoons to come back. That'd just be ridiculous. So yeah, I'm going to hopefully do my little one day a week, maybe go out travelling, get a block of them done, and then I've got them then in the bank to edit and then upload. If I can start doing that and I can get a block of them together, I could probably upload more than 1 a week, because I did have a comment on my last video saying that if I'm going to be doing 1 video a week, and he's quite right really, if I'm doing 1 video a week, 800 Wetherspoons, I'm going to be an old man before this gets finished. So with a bit of luck, I'll film quite a few in bulk, and hopefully get more than 1 uploaded a week. I can't promise anything because life gets in the way, but as long as I've got them filmed and in the bank, I will upload when I can. I'll edit when I can and I'll upload when I can. That way I might not be a pensioner by the time I finish this stupid challenge. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you at the next one. Oh, one more thing as well I forgot to mention. I've just become a member of a Spoons tracker online. So at the end of the videos I was always trying to figure out the best way to do it. Obviously there is a feature on the Wetherspoons app where you can tick to say you've been to the Wetherspoons, but mine's already got about 200 and odd on it, so it doesn't really work, does that one? So I was thinking I'll make a new account on this Spoons tracker website, and I'll use that as my my challenge list. So as of when I started the challenge in Worksop last week, I've added Worksop and I've added Malt Bay, and I'll add today's now, you'll see it in a second, and that just keeps it like a clean slate, a fresh start, so you can see there my progress as I make my way through the 800 and odd spoons there is. Anyway, this is what I'm on about. Thanks for watching.